The Twin Flame and the Dark Practitioners. A tale of manipulation, betrayal, and redemption. In a small, unassuming town, there lived a young woman named Elara. She was a free spirit, a dreamer, and a seeker of truth. But Elara's life was far from simple. She was a twin flame, a soul deeply connected to another, destined to find her divine counterpart. Yet, her journey was fraught with obstacles, not least of which were the two dark practitioners who had woven themselves into her life, casting shadows over her path. The first was a Pisces tomboy named Lila, a childhood friend Elara had met during her adolescence. Lila was charming and enigmatic, with a mischievous glint in her eye, but beneath her playful exterior lay a darker side. Lila was a practitioner of dark magic, specializing in spells of confusion, lust, and blindness. She had cast a web of enchantments around Elara, distorting her perception of herself and her sexuality. Lila's spells made Elara question her identity, convincing her that she was something she was not: a lesbian, trapped in a sexual identity distress. Lila's motives were unclear, but her influence was undeniable. She kept Elara close, feeding off her energy and ensuring she remained under her control. The second dark practitioner was a Leo named Victor, a man with a commanding presence and a magnetic charm. Victor was a master of lust magic, using his powers to fog Elara's mind and keep her under his thumb. He had once been a lover, but their relationship had turned toxic. Victor saw Elara as a puppet, a tool to be manipulated for his own gain. He used his magic to cloud her judgment, making her believe that she needed him, that she was nothing without him. Victor's control over Elara was absolute, and he reveled in it. Elara's life became a battleground, torn between the two dark practitioners who sought to control her. Lila's spells of confusion and lust kept her in a state of constant turmoil, while Victor's manipulation and dominance made her feel trapped and powerless. She was caught in a web of deceit, unable to see the truth of who she was or what she truly desired. But Elara was not alone. Unbeknownst to her, her divine counterpart, her twin flame, was out there, waiting for her. He was a Libra, a man of balance and justice, with a deep connection to the spiritual realm. He could sense Elara's distress, even from afar, and he knew that he had to find her. But the path to her was fraught with danger, and the dark practitioners who surrounded her would stop at nothing to keep them apart. As Elara struggled to break free from Lila and Victor's control, she began to experience strange occurrences. Objects would move on their own, whispers would echo in her ears, and she would have vivid dreams of a man she had never met but felt an inexplicable connection to. These were signs from the universe guiding her toward her twin flame. But the dark practitioners were always one step ahead, casting new spells to keep her in the dark. One night, Elara had a dream that changed everything. She found herself in a dense forest, surrounded by towering trees and bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. At the center of the forest stood a man, her twin flame. He reached out to her, his eyes filled with love and understanding. But before she could reach him, Lila and Victor appeared, their faces twisted with malice. They tried to pull her away, but the man stepped forward, his presence radiating power and light. With a wave of his hand, he dispelled their dark magic, freeing Elara from their grasp. Elara woke up with a start, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew then that she had to break free from Lila and Victor's control. She sought the help of a local mystic, an elderly woman named Agnes, who was known for her ability to communicate with the spirit world. Agnes listened intently as Elara recounted her experiences, her eyes narrowing as she spoke. "You are being targeted by powerful forces," Agnes said. "Lila and Victor are using dark magic to control you, to keep you from finding your true path. But your roots are strong, Elara. They cannot destroy you unless you let them." Agnes guided Elara through a series of rituals designed to strengthen her spiritual defenses. They burned sage to cleanse her home, planted protective herbs in her garden, and called upon her ancestors for guidance and protection. Elara felt a renewed sense of strength and purpose, but she knew the battle was far from over. As the days turned into weeks, Lila and Victor's lives began to unravel. The dark spirits they had summoned turned on them, draining their energy and sowing chaos in their lives. Lila lost her job. Victor's business collapsed, and their home was consumed by a mysterious fire. The sisterhood that had once been so loyal to Lila began to fracture, its members turning on each other in their desperation. Elara, guided by Agnes, arrived at Lila's home one evening. She found her lying in bed, her once vibrant eyes now dull and lifeless. Victor was nowhere to be found, having fled town in a desperate attempt to escape the darkness that pursued him. "This ends now," Elara said, her voice filled with compassion. "Your hatred has consumed you, but it doesn't have to define you. Let go of this darkness before it destroys you completely." Lila looked up at her, her eyes filled with regret. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." Elara took her hand, offering her what little comfort she could. But it was too late. The darkness that Lila had unleashed could not be undone. She passed away that night, her soul lost to the shadows she had once sought to control. In the weeks that followed, Elara worked to rebuild her life. She regained her sense of self and found solace in the land she loved so dearly. The sisterhood that had once been so loyal to Lila disbanded, its members seeking redemption in their own ways. As for Victor, he was never seen again. Some said he had fled to the mountains, others that he had been consumed by the darkness he had helped to summon. But Elara knew the truth: Victor's fate was sealed by the very forces he had sought to control. Elara often thought of the ritual that had nearly cost her life, and the lessons she had learned from it. She knew that the scars of this ordeal would never fully heal, but she also knew that she had emerged victorious. The land, her ancestors, and her own inner strength had protected her from the darkness. As the years passed, Elara found peace and happiness once more. She often thought of the ancient tree from her dreams, its roots unyielding, its branches reaching toward the light. It was a reminder that no matter how deep the darkness, the roots of resilience and love could never be uprooted. And then, one day, she met him, her twin flame. Their connection was instant, a bond that transcended time and space. Together, they embarked on a new journey, one filled with love, light, and the promise of a brighter future.